Hey, how you doing? I'm back again. This is the Brooklyn Prepper. All right, like I said, I'm going to come back with some videos. I'm going to start off real slow with some simple things, and obviously my daughter is, if people are looking at prepping videos, some of them may not be experienced, and a lot of the guys on here, they're just trying to get themselves into it, get themselves prepared, and try to figure out what the next step for them is. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with something really simple. And this is what I seen it somewhere. I read, and I got some instructions how to do one time when I was really young, and I figure I'd share with you. It's a minnow catcher. A simple little thing you could do with some plastic bottles and catch minnows, right? You could eat minnows. You could use minnows as bait, right? You could have them as pets if you want minnow pets. Some people like them. They float around, you look at them, they look at you, they say, hey, what are you looking at? I say, no, what are you looking at, right? But besides the point, but you can eat minnows. They're very high in protein and everything else. But, okay, I'm going to get started. I'm going to show you how to make this simple little minnow trap, which is a great thing because what you could use it for is, it's one of those tools that you don't got to put a lot of energy in. What happens, you're going to put this device down, right, and forget about it. Come back the next day, check it out. You got a couple of minnows, you got no minnows, whatever the minnows feel like doing at the time, they do, right? But whatever. I have caught many minnows with it, right? But what's good about it, you're not exerting all your energy. When you're out there trying to survive and you're doing tons of stuff, you gotta watch how much energy you're burning up. So these are one of the things I call, you build, you forget, and you harvest. Right? And you can keep on using it over and over again. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to show you how to make this little minnow trap, and it's really simple, very simple. Okay, the first thing you're going to start off with is, see, I like the Poland Spring bottles. The reason why I like the Poland Spring bottles is because they have these ribs, these little ribs on it. All right, so that's what I prefer anyway. But you could use any kind of bottles, but if you're going to use bottles without any of these ribs, you're going to have to punch some holes. I explain it to you. But we're going to start off by simply, first we're going to do, let's get rid of this label. We don't need this label on there. We don't want to advertise for them. Who cares? All right. Got that off. But these are the bottles I like using. Cap, you don't need it. Yeah, get all those dents out. Okay, now if you see the bottle, it has all these ribs. What I do is I count the ribs. You got one rib here, two rib here. The third rib down, I'm going to cut into. Okay? So I'm going to cut along that rib. All right? So a little indent, I'm going to cut along that one. All right? It doesn't have to be a clean cut. It does, you don't got to go crazy and try to get it perfectly even. You got to remember, you're surviving, you want to eat. I'm hungry, I got to eat. But you cut it as good as you can, all right? So once you get it decently cut you're going to have two pieces. You're going to have this piece, the top piece, you're going to have the bottom piece, and this a gerber. All right, so what you're going to do is after you get the bottom piece here, you're going to take the bottom piece and you can heat up a nail, or you could even puncture it with a knife. You want to make a bunch of holes back here, So I'm not going to heat up a nail right now, but you heat up a nail, you know what I'm talking about. You just puncture all these holes in the back there. All right, and what you do here, it's simple. This is your trap is almost made. It's crazy. It's like I made it out of a bottle, a water bottle. I'm catching fish in a water bottle, right? So you take this part, and because it's ribbed, right? Once you push it in, the ribs stick, So you get a nice little seal. So once those ribs are all stuck in there, it won't come out. So see what I mean? Right? Doesn't have to be perfect. The fish ain't choosy. I talked to minnows before. The minnows were like, nah, don't worry about it. I don't care if the place is direct, but as long as you get the hint. See now how I put that in there? You could see the opening here. And you got the chamber in the back. What happens, these minnows are swimming around. If you want, you could put a little bit of bait in there, a couple of crushed worms, but to me, I caught minnows without it. I didn't have to put bait. I'm not giving everybody dinner. I want to eat. I don't want to feed everybody. I got enough of my own problems. All right. So anyway, what happens here, the minnows will swim in through this hole, and once they get in here, for some strange reason, they get really stupid. and they don't know how to get back out. They're like, oh, how'd I get in here? And like, there's the hole, dummy. Go back through the hole. But they don't go through the hole. They're like, oh my God, I'm stuck. All right. So what you're gonna have to do with this thing to catch minnows, right? You could put it in a stream, let the current flow, and you can hold it down with a rock, right? And minnows happen to swim in there and everything. But what I do, what's even better, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a stick. You're gonna get yourself a nice stick. You can use a stick from the woods, whatever you want to do. Or I just happen to have this stick here, right? And what I do, I got a couple or more, right? So these are their buddies. I'll make a few of them, right? And what you do, you're gonna mount them on the stick. You could use silicone. You could use hard as nails, you could use, and just use your imagination to stick the sucker on there, right? So you're going to line them all up, right, on your stick. Now, the chances of minnows flowing, you can make a real long one and catch a lot of minnows, you can make a small one, whatever you feel like doing. But the important thing on the stick, when you make the stick, keep an edge on the stick. Keep a piece blank on each side, because when you push it into the brook or the river or wherever you put it in your bathtub, wherever you want to do with it, you want to be able to put rocks on it to hold it down, right? Now you throw some gravel on to give it a little bit of camouflage, and you just lay this in the stream and forget about it. Forget about it, right? You forget about the stick with the cups and bottles on it, but these are your minnow traps. They get really stupid when they get in there and they're like, how'd I get out of here? What the hell happened? Hey, you know, when another minnow comes in and that guy says, how did you get in here? And the other guy says, I don't remember. See, that's the whole thing. The minnows are stupid, right? Like I said, you can eat the minnows or you can use them for bait. But you can make a long stick. You can use 20 of these bottles, 100 of these bottles. You can just put one in a corner somewhere. You can do whatever you want with them. That's your minnow trap. Very simple. Did you see how I did it? Right? So my videos are going to start off real simple, like I told you. A simple minnow trap out of a Poland Spring bottle. Okay, now, if you don't have Poland Spring bottles, right, you're gonna, say if you got a bottle like this, okay, you know, first you want to take this off. It doesn't matter, it's the same concept. The only thing different you're gonna do, is you're gonna cut the sucker like you did the other one, right? So you cut it, right? So what you're going to do, it's the same thing. It's going to fit in there. You're going to squeeze it in there, all right? But the problem with these ones are, this is no good, this lip. So you're really going to have to try to squeeze the sucker in there, right? But if you get ones that are solid with no thing, you're going to have to make little holes along in here, and then you could run fishing line through there to hold it on, okay? So try to find the Poland Springs, right? If you can't find them, like I said, you could put another plain bottle and stick it in each other, and then you just put some fishing line around the edge, like weave it in like you're sewing, like your grandma or something, you're sewing it up. It does the same thing. The minnows go in there, they get stupid, they can't get back out. Don't forget your little holes so the current can flow through it. So now what you do after you catch the minnows, right, all you got to do, right, is pull this off and drink the suckers. I mean, just chug them down like a shot glass. Bang, bang, you got minnows. You don't want to do that really because you want to make sure the water is not infected. So what you do, you take the minnows out, they'll be flapping around, and you throw them down like chiclets. All right? High in protein. Who cares? You're starving, you want something to eat? Or you could chop them up, do what you want, put them in a little soup with some vegetables and have a minnow soup. You can do anything you want with it. It's your minnow. You do what you want with it. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope this helped, and if it did help, please leave me a comment, and I'll be checking out again. Like I said, I'm just starting out in this, and I'm starting very simple, and here's your little minnow trap. See the little ribs? They stick in there. Look, boom, you got minnows. Minnows are coming, and then you pull it out, and you eat them. Don't drink the water until you boil it. All right, so you don't want to drink the water. Anyway, even if you think it's a clean stream, oh, this is a great stream, you don't know what the hell was in that water. So you want to make sure all the bacteria and little microscopic things that give you diarrhea are out of there. All right, so anyway, live healthy, live strong, and I'll be shooting you another video real soon. Thanks a lot, guys.